Well, I mean, I'd say I'm surprised, but not really. Thankfully, though, this is only the beginning of the build to SummerSlam, so maybe I'll care. I doubt it. What a great way to start the show. Welcome to yet another edition of a Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. Joining me as always is the true voice of professional wrestling here on the Popcast Network, and also combat sports for that matter. And that is Ashley.
Volteroni went and fucking did it.
So, in wrestling, just like with all walks of life, especially entertainment, sadly, deaths usually come in threes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like bringing bad news to start off a show. I mean, Raw does enough of that for me. But we had 3 deaths in the wrestling business in the span of a couple of days.
Yeah. A really rough Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to start with Brickhouse Brown.
The guy who died came back to life and then died again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Apparently.
There was the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, but
Sadly.
it was like he had no pulse.
Yeah.
His mum checked on him and whatever. They called the coroner. Next thing, he's in the bloody pit going, "I'm hungry. What's up? What's for dinner?"
Right. Genius. So yeah, Brickhouse Brown. One of the bigger things I could talk about his career is talk about him in the South, working for the CWA and the USWA. That's basically where his claim to fame was.
A couple of
that's where I know
developmental
him
appearances for WWE, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's where I know him from is USWA. He was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer in 2017, and it moved to his brain, and apparently it got his weight all the way down to 150 pounds. Cauliflower Alley's benevolent fund helped him pay his rent. So, of course, B. Brian Blair, yes, that B. Brian Blair did say that Brown was still alive. About the conversation Ash just mentioned about him being hungry. But yeah, he passed away, and
it was stage 4 cancer, I believe, which is like basically terminal.
Pretty much. One of his interesting claims to fame, if you're a wrestling fan, with like if you're really following up on some interesting stuff with the fact that one of the last things he did have a stint in WWE for a while. That is correct. He was a job guy for a bit. And he won the USWA TV title, beating the soon-to-be Road Dogg when he was under Jesse James Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically enough, he was a tag team champion in the USWA with Reggie B. Fine, and they beat Bart Sawyer and just a superstar you may know, Ashley, by the name of Flex Kavana.
I've heard of that name. Can't think why.
Yeah, another thing, of course, he had a feud with Robert Fuller in the Stud Stable back in CWA. Really controversial back in the day, and He is part of the reason that former WCW job guy, the Gambler, had a 6-man tag belt.
Gambling.
Tag belt, not 6-man tag belt. So yeah, that was interesting. And the last thing he did of note in his career was JCW. Legends and Icons in
Gathering of the
2011.
Juggalos like 6-7 years ago.
Yep, 2011.
I think it was a 5-way with like USWA guys that was won by Austin Idol.
You are absolutely correct, and I remember that.
I looked at the Wikipedia article as well.
Well, the thing about between the two of us is I actually watched that show, so
I
have no
remember
problems admitting I watched that
something
show.
from the Gathering of the Juggalos, either 2011 or 2012, but I don't know whether it was exactly that show.
I've been trying to seek out the show from this year, but I cannot find anything. One Triple S says we want Devok Symphony. Come on, Big Daddy Ashley, new Progress champ. You should have played this song.
I felt inappropriate because I had to do some sort of celebratory salute. Not just, Big Daddy Volta, but also, I guess, number 2.
Yep, that's the next one on the hit parade, sadly, but surely it's Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah, I noticed. I have managed to get it, whether I'm supposed to or not. I downloaded the last match he ever had.
Wow.
Which was a couple of weeks back. It was at some company. I'm seeing if I can find it. RF Video put it up for free because I guess they realized there's actually some significance to this.
Wow.
I'm trying to get a list. So it was from Battleground Championship Wrestling in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. He teamed up with former partner Hacksaw Jim Duggan to take on Nikki Benz and the Mecha Mercenary, who, according to the promo, the only good bit about the promo that Mecha Mercenary and Nikki Benz did is Nikki Benz was saying, well, I've got a foreign big guy too, because, he's made it in Taiwan. And I'm like, I get the sentiment there, but yeah, that didn't really hit. And in all honesty, you can tell that Volkov is 70. He's not really doing great. There's a lot of wrinkly sort of loose skin hanging off him because, he's a guy of his age and everything. But, the real story behind him is more interesting than the kayfabe story, leaving Yugoslavia, not knowing any English, to America to try and find his way in life, and cropped across Stu Hart's dungeon. And from there, he went up and up multiple times. Well, I don't know multiple times, but certainly the first title change in WrestleMania history happened with him and Sheik.
Yep, that's
beating
correct.
The US Express. And then, of course, he went through his Bolshevik phase when Pietrov was shit and stayed with NWA, and Koloff came over, I think, wasn't it? For the Bolsheviks.
Yeah, with Borisukov.
Yeah. Who isn't Vitaly Petrov, or whatever her name is. Pietrov, who was like green as goose shit. And then I was looking back, even the clip from a few years ago when he was random. I can't remember what was the deal. It must have been like a retro Raw thing from like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So IRS and Ted DiBiase were there and whatever. But then, you've got randomly Rusev and Lana. When Rusev was supposed to be Russian, even though he's Bulgarian. I had him singing backstage, and Brandy's like saying, it's great to see you here, but why are you wearing a Russian winter hat? And he's just like, "Oh, you are beautiful, you American girls, but you are stupid in the brain. You think this is a Russian winter hat? This is a Russian summer hat." And he just walks off, and I'm like, "Yes, you got put in your place, Brandy. That's why that's why Cody got a dog or two."
Honestly, one of the things I enjoyed a lot was the storyline that he did with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, where he actually was forced to be a member of the $1 Million Corporation. Instead of dollar signs, they put cents on his tights.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
because
And
he
of
was earning his
course,
first cents on the dollar, as if
yeah,
he was wrestling unpaid. What?
no, that would definitely not happen until many, many years down the line. Of course, he was part of the infamous, and I do mean infamous, Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view.
Oh God, Heroes of Wrestling
Can't forget that.
against Luke and Dutch. Luke and Butch. Luke and Dutch.
The Men from Down Under is what they were called on that show.
Good
The
old
former Bushwhackers.
Robbie, whatever his name is, Robbie Rosenthal, whatever, the commentator.
Randy Rosenbloom.
That's it.
We could talk
And
about Heroes of Wrestling for hours, and I would, because get your toys out of the sandbox because playtime's over, and tonight somebody's going to
and
get
the
their
best
ass whooped tonight in here.
and the best and the best promo Tully Blanchard ever did as a singles competitor,
So good.
and not
Give
as a
us
Four
hope.
Horseman guy.
Watch this show just for that reason. His match he had with Stan Lane was fantastic. But seriously though, he ran for the Maryland primary, the Republican one for state delegate in District 7 in 2006, and he lost.
He was no Glenn Jacobs though. He no Glenn Jacobs. Vote Quimby.
Yeah, so
One I
gives
want
us
to
2 times.
mention as well. Were you going to finish off the?
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is a member of the 2005 class for WWE's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, including some bloke called Hulk Hogan. I wonder what happened to him. Christ, is that looking at it? Is that like must be getting close to 2005 being the first year in which everybody's dead? Because
How so?
Roddy died.
Right.
Oh no, Sheik's obviously in good health. Orndorff's had moments when he's not been in great health. Hogan's career, I thought, was dead, but apparently we can give free passes. Now, the one I also wanted to mention as well, because I forgot, they don't happen in threes; they happen in fours. Trevor Lee's dad died as well.
Yeah, I just saw that from Hyro a second ago.
Which I don't know whether, because I never caught the show, even though I think it was on Powerbomb TV this week. Trevor Lee was supposed to be wrestling for CWF Mid-Atlantic on a show this weekend. I don't even know whether he did. Because, if he did die on Saturday, that would have been when he wrestled. And I'd kind of thought that Trevor Lee might want to be, there rather than at a wrestling show.
He passed away on Sunday, according to this. Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, but he came through. After celebrating his 50th birthday last night, he was reunited with Jesus this morning. Wow.
One of the promoters of Omega.
That really came out of nowhere then.
Yeah.
50th birthday. The GoFundMe that's been set up though, which is on CWF Mid-Atlantic's Facebook page, is already in the region of about $6,000 in the last 8 hours. With a 9,000 goal roughly.
One Triple S is rightfully shooting on you right now, but we'll talk about him in a minute.
Oh, don't worry. I'm saving it for the appropriate time.
Good. The most
happening.
The most impactful one, if you want to talk about when you're looking at from the perspective of being a fan of the Attitude Era and being a fan of, again, Southern Wrestling. This is where Brickhouse Brown comes in, and that is Brian Lawler.
At the same time, that's partially why I didn't want to bring up the DUI.
Yeah.
From last week. I didn't think it would result in what happened. Because if we're going to report on the news on it, obviously he was arrested and kept in the cells. Because I think it was his third DUI, from what I remember, over a number of years.
Brian's had his share of issues and shares of run-ins with the law in the past.
Yeah. He was found unresponsive in his cell. In some shape or form, had managed to hang himself. They got him to the hospital where he was pronounced brain dead. So basically, it was a time of, it basically came to the point where he's brain dead. He's not going to get it back. We're going to switch off the life support and just see how long it goes. And the news came through that he died, but the word hadn't come through. But it was confirmed at least by Saturday evening time, sort of Saturday tea time-ish, that he passed away at, I'm trying to think what age.
46.
Yeah. I mean, because, I remember him back from the days when he showed up as, honestly, he's not Jerry Lawler's son in that whole light heavyweight tournament stuff.
Definitely the light heavyweight tournament with him and Taka Michinoku.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that was way before he even teamed with Scott Taylor. And they formed Too Much, and then eventually it became Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty Too Hottie, and they became Too Cool. And then they formed the team with Rikishi, but I mean, before that, way before that, all the stuff that he did in the USWA, he was literally a 26-time champion. Now, if you don't take into account the fact that Jerry Lawler is his father, that's a big deal. Holding every piece of gold the USWA had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was tag champions with the former Raven when he was Scotty Anthony, Jeff Jarrett, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and Wolfie D, formerly of PG-13. Like, he's done a lot. He did a lot in Memphis, a lot in Tennessee, and of course, he was a one-time WWF Tag Team Champion. Too Cool were.
Then getting released from WWF because he couldn't ship drugs over the Canadian-American border.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a spell at
TNA.
Was it World Wrestling All-Stars?
Yeah, WWA lost to Jeff Jarrett in 2002.
The random show in, like, Australia, and then it was just wherever they could fucking do it.
Yep.
He was in for a bit, as you say, in TNA. He briefly had a return to WWE. But basically, when Jim Ross left Talent Relations and John Laurinaitis came in, he immediately went back out. And therefore, he was just sort of doing some indie stuff here and there where he could.
I mean, the last thing he really did was was in 2011. He did a spot where he basically sided with Michael Cole against Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
And he said, I was ashamed to be your son.
There it is. The confirmation. The old school Raw. The same one that Volkov was on.
Yep.
The reuniting for the final time of Too Cool to take on 3MB.
And then the very last appearance was in 2014, where they lost to the Ascension at NXT Arrival.
Because that was sensible.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm trying to see why he was champion 26 times. And that 26 times is just for one belt, isn't it?
That would be the USWA Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's how they did it. So he had the belt for a month back in 92 when he won it for the first time in March into April. Then it got vacated. But then he beat Tom Pritchard in a rematch after it was vacated. So he kept it for another 7 days. Then it got vacated again because of a rematch finish being screwy. So then when they had another rematch, he won it again. So technically that would be one reign. But in USWA terms, it's classed as 3. And then his 4th and 5th reigns also only lasted 7 days. I see what they're doing here. It's like he held it belt for a week or 2 weeks or sometimes more than 2 weeks, sometimes a few months. But that's how we get 26 out of it. Blimey. I didn't realize that's how crazy it was. Also, he was actually the last champion.
Makes sense.
At this wrestling, beating Derek King in a final. Then again, it is worth noting he won the belt in 2010, but it was vacated in 2008. We don't know why. From his dad when they were unifying belts or whatever. So I have no clue. So who knows? But yeah,
It's been rough.
rough week. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got lots of stuff going in chat right now. We move on. I guess we move on. We basically, before we go into chat, we want to send our condolences to the families of the 4 that have passed this weekend. And now we must press on. So now we can get into some of these things that are being said. Hyro says, I hated the Raw ending. Wish Lesnar gets manhandled. Can we get Cain Velasquez? Yeah, Hyro. I remember Brian's promo when he was with Michael Cole. Hyro says, can you make the guys, can you guys make the stream 3 hours to make up for the crappy 3 hours of Raw?
No, but we're going to cram more backstage segments in this show than we're going to do in Raw.
That's a shoot. And of course, when Triple S is talking about Ashley Rain being the newest inductee in the Mae Young Classic, among others, which we'll talk about later tonight.
We need to go through that list because that list is looking with notable omissions because World of Sport, which we're getting to as well, rather tasty.
Say the least. I actually might watch Mae Young Classic this year live. We'll see. And of course, I'm sure there's no surprise given the fact that we literally devoted an entire summer to talking about the list of Cody Rhodes. Podcast Network is obviously all in. And when everything's officially announced, we'll be able to tell you guys what we're going to be doing for
So what we're saying is Owen's already pre-ordered the High Spot Soul crate.
I didn't say that. Man. I have my ways.
You better get it.
With what, my looks, good sir?
I don't know. It's got a complete trading card set with everybody that's going to be on the show.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Especially with the new
So
matches.
if everybody gets it, and all of a sudden they look in the pack and like, wait, why is there a CM Punk card in this? Oh!
For sake of argument, if that happens, he was technically not all in, but he was at the Pro Wrestling Tees store, so technically it could count.
We'll see.
But yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Hyro says, when can we get AJ in the stream? Not about wrestling.
Unless it's a sit-down discussion between us about fighting with my family.
That's a good possibility.
I don't know when the fuck that's coming out. Answers on a postcard.
Yeah, pretty much. AJ will read. Oh God, I keep forgetting this. We're at the end of July now. We're about ready to start Oscar predictions next month.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm really intrigued as to if or when Walk Like a Panther is going to be seen by AJ.
I don't know. I know the review just went out today. Well, no. Yeah, I can say that now. The review went out today for Mission Impossible, Fallout, Unfriended Dark Web, Uncle Drew, and Adrift.
Mm-hmm.
That was him finally seeing those. See, that's the thing. So, yeah, I don't know exactly you're going to hear anything really about what's going on, but I guess we'll see what's going. We'll see if we can find out anything. I'll let you guys know for sure. So let's talk about Raw so I can go get something to drink. I have soda in my fridge, folks. You guys know I don't drink.
Yeah, because he's straight edge.
Yes, exactly.
Just like Bruiser Brody. Oh no, something.
Oh, too soon. Even though it's been many years, still too soon.
Always be too soon. I've just.
Oh no, we're losing Ashley.
Nobody else is going to give a fuck about it. Oh.
Okay, I think we're fine.
Fuck. I mean, I know I'm not the only person that saw it because there's 10 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Not one of them's positive.
What is this?
I mean, if I was on there, Walk Like a Panther.
Oh, yeah.
I sort of ripped into it. Speaking of ripping into things, Monday Night Raw. Roman comes out and says, "Oh, you get loud, Miami," because this is how we're trying to cover up the fact that they're booing him as well as cheering him. And he also respects Bobby Lashley. Changed his mind quickly then, didn't he? That's more he can say for Brock because he has no respect for him. Lesnar shows up, but he's got time to show up for the UFC and get in Daniel Cormier's face. So here comes Heyman and says, Brock wants to give you his congratulations, but, you know, the definition of insanity is that Far Cry 3 cutscene where Vast goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, expecting the same result, which is apparently why Roman should be in a padded cell and not in the main event at SummerSlam. And it's like, you can go on about Brock being speared through the cage, about being uncrowned champ, but you know what? Spoiler, Brock's winning. And he's going to go to UFC and become a 2-sport champion. Not 2-weight champion, 2-sport champ. And Reigns just goes, "Shut up." No Nobody cares about what you got to say. Well, they want to see Brock, and Heyman's like, well, he's here, and he'll come out when he feels like it. And Roman goes, oh, so he's actually going to show up to SummerSlam? Well, if he does, don't worry, I'm sending him to the UFC. But he's not going back as the Beast. He's going back as Roman Reigns' bitch. And this is where I need the sound already. Closely followed by...
Nobody gives a shit. And it's back.
So now, I mean, it's like Roman was good and all. Heyman was epic, but Roman having to go how are we going to get the people to cheer him? Make him say bitch. Then they'll just go, oh! And it's like,
no, seriously, this is a crutch. This is a serious crutch with Roman Reigns. He calls people bitch, and they expect people to pop for it. I heard there's piped in chants tonight. I'm not crazy. I was half asleep, but I'm not crazy.
Tonight was also brought to you by... It might have been brought to you by Sonic, which I'm ashamed that Owen did miss the show tonight, because he missed... I don't know what product it is they were selling at Sonic. It was something. But they used a giant load of clips of Mr. Perfect.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah. Just all his classic promos, like catching his own football and everything. It was like, oh, those were the days, man, when people gave a shit.
Everyone knows how big of a mark for Kurt Hennig I have been for this day.
So then we get to the best bit of the show. Unintentionally, the best bit of the show. Brock Lesnar's reading some hunting magazine, which has already been screenshotted by the internet and is being gifted the fuck out of by like him reading Playboy, him reading Playgirl, him reading Harry Potter, all that good stuff. Him reading, going, oh, Garfield, when will you ever stop eating lasagna? Things like this.
Wow.
And Paul was like, you did hear what Roman said to you, right? And Lesnar goes, Paul, I didn't listen to what he said because I don't watch the show. So Brock not watching is why the viewership was fucking down. Even Brock thinks this. And Heyman goes, look, I got a recording of it. Hands him the phone and, watch it. And then he's like, put in the code. It's 00741. If anybody's got that as a pin code for anything, you better fucking change it now. And Lesnar smashes Heyman's phone and goes back to reading his magazine. So yeah, even Brock doesn't have the will to watch the fucking show, and he's supposed to be on it. Brilliant. This is why you shouldn't watch this fucking shit. Oh wait, opening match, Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Which is a shame because Finn Balor's in it, but the other knobhead is. And of course he wins with End of Days. And he attacks him further afterwards.
Questions from chat. Will we get a live stream for WrestleMania? Well, we get a live reaction stream like Mania. For which show, Hyro? SummerSlam,
Depends which
maybe?
show. I know one Triple S you're saying about the Twitch reaction of Dominion because Twitch is buggy. That's probably because the feed I was doing anyway was buggy as all hell. I was trying to sort of fix it and get everything sorted, and that was only like my second stream when I was trying to work out how to stream at a steady rate and whatever. I tried YouTube, but the problem is I don't have the capability to stream on YouTube yet because I don't have enough followers. That's an issue because they restrict it to you don't get the full things until you've got like 1,000 views,
something like that. Yeah,
and a few hundred subscribers. I'm not going to get that because I'm not that active on YouTube. I just use my YouTube account to actually watch shit on YouTube and keep track of it. If anything, I'm more likely to do it more on Twitch because Twitch seems like a better community and a better chat room that I can sort of vet rather than just let anything happen. At least on that respect. Anyway. Kurt Angle basically says to Heyman, if Brock doesn't show up tonight, Heyman's contract with the WWE is cancelled. Apparently. Then, amazingly, they announced they recapped the Evolution pay-per-view announcement. They didn't until that was the first mention of it. Ridiculous. So Alicia Fox is backstage with. I don't want to criticize the women's appearance because it will seem as me being sexist, but Alicia Fox's hair tonight looked like a wig that a cancer patient would go, I'm not fucking wearing that. I don't know what's up with her weave. It really doesn't suit her. Anyway, she's warming up for a match against Natalia. Hang on. And Alexa Bliss comes in saying Mickey's injured. I don't know when this fucking happened. So Alicia's the replacement. And Natty's gonna have Ronda in her corner, but I'm gonna be in your corner, and just worry about Natalia, don't worry about Ronda, I'll have it sorted. And Alicia, of course, goes, I'm gonna hurt Natty so bad, I'll make her cat say me. Ow! I'm like, oh god, Alicia Fox is back.
Why? Why does she still have a job? Tell me that right now. I've been saying this for a long time. Why does she still have a job?
Not to be racist, but because she's black. And they haven't got that many black women on the roster.
Then teach her how to work safely and not kill people with the axe kick.
Hell, when we got to the bloody Sasha and Bailey versus Riot Squad match later on in the night, randomly, because of a misconstrued commentary line, Michael Cole said, well, Sarah Logan and, the blacks. And it's like, wait, what? I'm guessing it's supposed to be like the surname is like, her real surname, or like her Viking heritage surname is Black. But because he said the blacks, it was just like, oh my God, we're going into the 1960s. Where's Joseph McCarthy when you need him?
No, I ain't buying that
burning.
One. Oh my
Mississippi
God.
burning. Oh. Alicia Fox somehow won. Well, thanks to basically Alexa sort of getting involved with a distraction. So then Ronda beats the fuck out of Alicia, but then they have a fight. Well, she goes after Bliss, but Fox attacks her from behind, and Fox throws Ronda into the barricade, and like, okay. So Heyman's with Lesnar again, saying, "Look, please go out to the ring. You know, think of all the extra t-shirts you can sell, all the subscriptions that will drive up the network." Which I think is ironic, because from what I remember from the last quarterly earnings, at least in the news, which you might as well mention here, network thing didn't even fucking move. It's just the revenue went up because of the TV deal. It's farcical. And Lesnar goes, "Look, you have no idea how under your skin, how under my skin you were getting. You know, I don't give a shit about the WWE universe. You know, I don't even care about being here tonight. I'd much rather be at home with my feet up." And then the camera guy zooms out, because I guess he's been basically told them, if you don't show the brand of my shoes because they paid me money, I'm not fucking working. So, which they cut out of all the repeats afterwards, which is weird. And then he said, "Go get a steak with a baked potato and steamed broccoli." Yes, Brock Lesnar's favorite food is steak, baked potato, and steamed broccoli. Apparently, he likes prison food. I don't know what's up with that. Then Ronda and Natty are backstage with Kurt Angle, and Ronda says, "Look, I want a match. I can't wait till SummerSlam. Give me a match." And so Kurt goes, "All right. Next week, Ronda, you're going to have your first ever match on Monday Night Raw against Alicia Fox." And the crowd boos, because it's going to be in Jacksonville, not Miami. Great way to do that, guys. So Elias then is in the ring. And, he says that his album beat Post Malone and some other people. And it would have beaten Drake had it not been for, but then it was cut off by Bobby Lashley coming out. Oh, no, sorry, yeah. It would have got higher had it not been for Bobby Lashley interrupting him, I guess, last week. And it says, "Look, don't pretend like you get it. Miami's a city that worships garbage like Pitbull." And I'm going, preach on, brother. Preach on.
You're not wrong, but still.
And then he says, "You also worship some shit guy called The Rock," which is clearly him planting the seeds.
They're building it.
You've heard the rumor, haven't you?
Yeah, I heard The Rock and Elias.
For Mania.
For Mania, yeah.
Not even doing it for SummerSlam. But Lashley comes out and says, "Look, I'm a big fan, and, I heard my name when I was backstage and I wanted to see what you had to say." And it's like, "Oh, I know what you're here for. You want to sing with me." And so they do a very bad version of Rockin' Robin. And Elias attacks Lashley.
Kudos to WWE for not going with what would probably be what they would go for in the past, was trying to get them to sing Ebony and Ivory.
And then Lashley beats the shit out of him back. Then Baron Corbin's backstage and Kevin Owens shows up, congratulating Corbin, and says, "Look, I got you some water and a towel if you want to cool down." And Corbin's like, "I've already cooled down." Like, "Oh, yeah." since Braun terrorized my kid a few weeks back, you're my son's favorite wrestler now, Baron. But this Brock Lesnar situation is very concerning because I think that Angle's jeopardizing my chance of winning the Money in the Bank briefcase at SummerSlam. Because if Rock goes out there tonight and Braun cashes in, I don't get the chance to get the briefcase. And Corbin goes, Lesnar's Kurt Angle's problem, not mine. And your problem is getting the briefcase. So, who knows?
Comments in chat.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Let's see. Will, haven't heard that name in a while, shows up in chat and says, who should be the next Paul Heyman guy after Lesnar? Roman?
No. Ronda. I mean, they've already planted the seed. We'll get to it.
Jeremy, we're glad to have you back tonight. Joker in the Funhouse says WWE sucks. My response to that, well, you're not wrong, but there is a couple of things.
Raw does.
Raw's terrible.
SmackDown's been reasonably decent. NXT is very solid to good to excellent, depending where it feels like it is.
Right.
NXT UK, we'll have to see, even if it fucking airs. Next up, Jinder Mahal versus Braun Strowman. Except, it sort of do give a shit, because Kevin comes through the crowd, grabs Strowman's briefcase. Strowman sort of sees him off. They run round the ring. He passes the briefcase to Singh. So Kevin flees up the ramp. Strowman shoulder blocks Singh down in his sort of like, pounce style. Chases Kevin to the back. Meanwhile, during this time, the referee counts to 10, so Jinder wins by count out. And then he's celebrating, and Strowman comes back with his briefcase. And Jinder just runs the fuck away. And Corbin hands his phone to Angle, saying Stephanie wants to talk to him, and says, look, I get it. You're trying to protect the main event at SummerSlam. I understand. And then hangs up. So then we got a bunch of WWE guys in the locker room. I think Slater and Rhino, Ascension, Mike Kanellis. He still exists. Yes.
And he's not on NXT like they were talking about either.
And it's fucking Mojo.
Speaking of people that still have a job, Hyro.
Fucking twat. He's like, I'm calling everybody out because Mojo's for real. And then in comes Bobby Roode and says, you got a problem with me? And Mojo goes, well, if I did, what would you do about it? And they fucking brawl. Best thing that came out of this? Mike Kanellis' tweet, who said, backstage there was a fight and I did what any consenting adult would do. Get my phone out and film it. Yes. That is the rule. Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Referees and security coming in going, whoa, you can't do that. Just waving. Not trying to split them apart, just waving.
Well, apparently One Triple S has a question for you, Ashley.
What do I think of the whole Randy Orton sticking his finger in Jeff's ear? if we're trying to get him over as a heel, I get what they're trying to do, but to be honest, it just seems more like something that's going to be used like a GIF for something. It's going to be on a Botchamania sooner rather than later.
Which, by the way, that's what I did before Raw
You
started.
put your left digit in, your left digit out, in, out, and you fuck up an ear. Oh my god. That's the ultimate skull fucking finale. Thanks, JJ.
Yeah. Very true. El Jefe says, I'm sorry I can't. Raw is terrible, so boring. Yeah, we're going to be talking about good stuff in a minute. Don't worry.
Speaking of
this whole show,
Apollo Crews and a Cam in a one-on-one match.
Why?
The best bit was Dana Brooke not wearing a bra because Jesus Christ, I thought jellies wobbled. Fuck. A great thing is a Cam and Tokar and Razor.
Well, not again.
Cut promos beforehand, inset sort of backstage promo sort of thing. You know, as they were walking up, like in the old school way, it's like here's some words from them just as they left the backstage. The best thing, I've got to take credit for it being somewhere on Twitter. They described this match as being via a time warp from 20 years ago. Titus Worldwide being represented by Ahmed Johnson versus D'Lo Brown. A nation of domination.
That's a fairly accurate statement that I don't want to touch.
Exactly. Because when you look at a Cam, yeah, he sort of does look like D'Lo. You're messing with the real dude. The thing is, they're still doing the whole gimmick of turning the page and chapters and all that. And I'm going, that worked when there was somebody that could hold the fucking book. Anyway, Apollo wins.
Yep.
And yeah, that's the plan now for AOP. Rather than actually being in title contention for SummerSlam, they're just doing this shit with Titus Worldwide. Vince doesn't give a fuck about them anymore.
Vince doesn't care about the tag team division.
So Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. For what we got, it was decent.
I'm sure the match.
The problem is we've seen it too many times already. And basically the stomp is connected. By the way, he did the deal because of course he did.
Good.
But Ziggler came in and attacked. Although I will say Ziggler's attire tonight in a suit and like really long hair that he didn't bother to dye and shades. All he needed was his hair tied back and he would be the illegitimate child of Truth Martini.
Oh, wow.
It was like, geez. But yeah, the feud must So Reigns is in his locker room and watching on tablet with some earphones and whatever, and says that considering Brock's here and all that, Stephanie's called me. She wants you removed from the building. It's like, yeah, how long is this going to go for? I've been in your shoe. You've been in my shoes. You've been in my position. You know, you're not a yes man. And then Corbin's like, officers. And here come these police officers with 3 different uniforms.
What?
One had like a yellow badge on his chest, and the other had a white badge, and the other had a different design badge altogether. And I'm like, couldn't they get like costumes that look fucking alike off Amazon? Seriously? And then as he left, Roman bitch punched Corbin for smiling at him because he was leaving. So then Charlie Caruso's into ring, interviewing the B team, who are 7-0. And the B team, the B&B team stands for Dream. I'm going, what?
Oh, God.
And it's like, yeah, sure. White and Hardy aren't happy with us being champs. You know, they applauded us and attacked us last week. We aren't scared. We weren't scared. Blap! I don't even want to say Johnny Depp now because bloody the fact that he got booed because he got booed at Comic-Con. It's like, well, I think we know that he's persona non grata in quite a lot of places now. So they showed up. And it's like nightmares are real. And we are the nightmares manifested, B team. We will haunt you until you are deleted. And then Revival show up. And they say, like, nobody understands what you just said. Newsflash, we beat Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, two of the best in WWE.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you someone who seems to, and that would be Chat. So when Triple S says, I doubt Owens wins the case, he needs to. I don't really care anymore because if he doesn't, then I'm not going to be surprised, but I think he needs to. El Jefe, so I'm sorry I can't. Raw is terrible, so boring. Will says, will Orton become like Big Show where he turns more heel than a NASCAR driver? Well, you know, he's already started. El Jefe says, I wish they put Mike Bennett in NXT and give him the miracle gimmick from TNA. He was doing much better in TNA. Well, you're not wrong.
Oh, speaking of, Zack Ryder beat Mike Kanellis and Tyler Breeze beat Kurt Hawkins on main event this week.
Very happy. Tyler Breeze also returned to his NXT roots in a match against Adam Cole over the weekend in California.
Mm-hmm.
Hyro says, I'm sorry, Owen, it's hard to talk about Raw. I'm not interested. And furthermore, sorry about the Alicia comment. I just don't like Raw. I can only crap on it. Yeah, that's what we're basically doing now during this show now. I basically don't even watch the show because I don't care anymore. I'll shoot with you guys. I fell asleep on my couch because I was bored. Okay?
Trust me, if Owen could, at some point in the run-up to SummerSlam,
I'd get rid of the WWE show, period.
I want to do live reactions, but like MST3K riff on the fucker.
Lord.
Which is easy to do when it's a subpar show. And if it's a go-home show, like in 2 weeks, dear fucking God, I'm going to be loving it.
Oh, that might not be a bad idea, actually.
Now, as a warm-up for if we are doing SummerSlam live, all 59 hours of it.
Popcast Network presents Wrestle Tracks.
Anyway, Revival win.
Keep that in mind, folks. That may happen. Yeah, we'll probably do SummerSlam live reaction because that way I can get away with not having to do a podcast in midnight. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, because the show will be 7 hours long, won't it?
Well, don't forget that also the fact that we only can go, Will knows this, we only can go 8 hours on YouTube because we found that out many times talking horror nights.
We might have to do like a separate fucking... We might have to do two separate, one scheduled, one for the pre-show and then one for the post-show, just because if it, depending how long the main show goes, if we're going on the fact that 4-hour pay-per-views are a norm now.
Stop it.
Therefore, it's going to be at least 5. Well, 3.5, but they always block it for 4, don't they?
Yes, just stop. Seriously, we don't need that. It's overkill. It just, I don't care. And I know a lot of your fans don't care either. They're burnt out by the time we get to the main event.
Seth Rollins interviewed and saying, you know, it must be difficult to take on 2 superstars on your own. Teasing, you know, the thing. And then Drew and Dolph attacking from behind, and nobody saves him. Not even Jason Jordan.
Who?
Or that John Moxley bloke.
Something tells me that there's more to Ambrose's injury than meets the eye, because he should have probably been back by now.
Rumor is the contract's coming up soon.
Oh well. Come back. DJ forgives you. All is forgiven.
I'm trying to work out who's. I'm trying to remember who the fuck is in charge of that. Is it Tremont now?
Probably. That wouldn't.
He's just fucking retired though. Or he's wrestled his last match in CZW, so whether he's just wrestling in other companies now. I know he did wrestle in Beyond, and apparently he's now part of the fucking Hate Club. We'll get to that.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Nick fucking Gage.
Anybody that knows me, like really knows me, knows that that was one of the things that I actually emulated back in my backyard wrestling days.
So now it's time for the Riot Squad against. Sorry, it's not Sasha and Bailey anymore. It's the Boss and Hug connection.
Oh my god.
Sasha and Bailey get the win with a. Oh, that reminds me. It was a bank statement into a Bailey to belly on Liv. And he goes, cover and a kick out. I mean a victory.
Oh my god.
What up, Michael Cole?
1990s commentary from the AWA at 4 o'clock on ESPN is what's happening right now.
Yeah, but this time it wasn't a wrestling botch in the ring that led to that snafu. It was just the commentary being shit. So once again, Brock's reading his magazine and says, look, you know, Roman's been removed from the arena. You know, and Lesnar's like, you got paid? You got your money? And he goes, yes, I'm here, but, you know, I have a contract with you and I thank you for it, but I also have a contract with WWE, which means I can have a contract with you. And if you don't get out to the ring tonight, Kurt's going to fire me. You know, just go out to the ring for just a minute. Just wave, go hi, bye, and whatever.
Favorite little hat.
You know, just because you're my friend. And Lesnar just grabs Heyman and says, we're not friends. You work for me. I don't work for you. You work for me. You know, how long have you been leeching off of me? Just go out there and do your job. We're trying to make him like this badass heel. They're booing him not because he's a badass heel, but because, like every fucking time, the rumors come that he's fucking going to somewhere else, and the crowd turn on him.
This WrestleMania match, oh boy.
It's SummerSlam.
No, if they go the direction they want to go with, oh god, they just need to just wash their hands of everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I'm not big on Braun having the briefcase at all. I'm not big on Braun in general, but do it.
So
just get it over with.
Kurt comes out and says, Brock needs to come out here. Heyman, do your thing. And Heyman comes, you know, he introduces himself, but in a very sort of timid fashion, because he knows there's a problem, and says, look, he's not coming out. And Kurt's like, you know, a real champ shows up. He defends his title. He goes the extra mile. You know, he does charity appearances and whatever. Brock don't do any of that. He's got to be the worst Universal Champion of all time. And I'm going, there's only been 4 of them. There was Balor for like a day. Owens for 7 or 8 months.
It was a while, but they never did enough with it.
Goldberg for 6 weeks. And Lesnar for the last 15 months. That's it. It's not great to say that he's the worst Universal Champ of all time. Because that's like saying, you know, the worst champion, the worst $1 million belt champion was Ted DiBiase. Not saying much because, like, he was the only one, I think.
Virgil.
Did he actually officially win it?
Literally won the title at SummerSlam 1991.
You see what I'm trying to get at, though?
I do, but yes.
I couldn't think of anybody that just had the belt once and then it never happened again. The closest would be the TNA Legends thing or whatever from back in the day.
We have comments in chat.
I'll quickly finish it off, don't worry. And it's like, and Paul's like, I won't argue. He is the worst champ, but I've tried to help him. He doesn't listen or respect to anybody, even me. I tried to turn him to you, Kurt. You know, a gold medalist with a broken freaking neck became a GM. Take it out on him, not me. And Kurt basically says his contract's now terminated, apparently. And then Brock shows up and Heyman's like, because he was like on his knees and sort of grabbing at his legs, like, please, please, please don't. And Brock grabs the mic and says, you got a problem with me? Kurt, you got a problem with me, Constable? F5's Kurt Angle from out of nowhere. Corbin just sneaks out the ring. Lesnar then grabs Paul by the sort of cheek / throat, and he keeps going, I can't breathe, Brock. I can't breathe. And Brock's just like going, look at Kurt. Look at him. Look at him. Lesnar eventually lets go, grabs his title, leaves up the ramp. What a great build up to the second biggest pay-per-view of the fucking year.
Yeah, I think I can confirm right now we're doing live reactions for SummerSlam. Unless something drastic happens between now and then. Chat says Hyro's talking about the Sasha Bailey angle kind of being like Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie was.
Yeah, but that was like the Attitude Era or ruthless aggression, whatever you want to call it.
Way
doing that down. Now. Even though they desperately want an LGBT storyline because they want to be inclusive.
And the question is posed by Hyro. Well, yeah, One Trip West, technically speaking, he never won the $1 million title, though. He was just given it by Ted DiBiase when he was the ringmaster. Hyro says, why do you guys review Raw? You know it's bad. Why not do Tuesday? It's less time and an actual decent show with decent matches. Probably won't give epilepsy because of the bright lights.
Well, the problem is we still have to cover Raw as well.
Scheduling, sir. That's the issue we always run into. Like,
also, I don't want to cover SmackDown too much because like they're actually doing pretty good stuff. You know, Smart Joe and AJ should be good.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about the Jeff Hardy fingering Randy Orton with Nakamura looking going, come on, yeah, and all that.
Nakamura come back to New Japan immediately as soon as your contract's up.
Hey, rumors and innuendo.
God, do
it. Rumors and innuendo are a beautiful thing.
Very true.
might as well bring it up here. Just because I want to get it out of the way. The television for Impact. I don't know. But Aries opened up the show basically going that Slammiversary was the pay-per-view of the year. Sorry, did you fucking watch any NXT pay-per-view from this year? Fuck off. And he says, like, nobody gives me a script to say what I have to say. You want to call yourself the best, you got to step into the ring with the best. You know, it's an open challenge. And Eddie Edwards just sneaks in, smacks him in the head with a kendo sticks, and then gives him the Dreamer DDT. Eddie Edwards actually thinks he's Tommy Dreamer.
Oh boy.
Okay, now. Taiji Ishimori, or if we're going apparently by the graphics for Slammiversary, the Bone Solider.
Solider, yes.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Ishimori wins. They hugged each other afterwards after a pretty good match. And then attacked by the Desi Hit Squad. So then Anthony Corelli, you know, the former Santino, was interviewed backstage promoting some of his wrestling students, and Aries apparently picked a fight with him. And Corelli was like, oh, I want to fight you, but I haven't been medically cleared. And so instead his student, Dustin Cameron, came in and challenged the fight. So yeah, it appears as if the attack from Eddie Edwards doesn't matter because this jobber's having a fight instead. So then Tessa Blanchard beat Rebel. I don't know why. I mean, I do. Well, I say that, I don't. So then we get to Scarlett Bordeaux's thing, who wants to be known as the Smoke Show. And of course, they're giving her the Marilyn blowing up the skirt sort of thing and the hair. You know, right? I want to be an inspiration to little girls everywhere. And I want to be the greatest women's activist of all time. And Alicia too basically goes something on the lines of like one of the actual people like Rosa Parks or whatever. But no, Scarlett's like more like Marilyn Monroe or Cardi B. Anybody in chat can tell me who the fuck Cardi B is. Please inform me. She will not be hot shamed. And that a 5 like Alicia should just be in the crowd and let the 10 that she is speak whatever she wants to. The Smoke Show is here to make wrestling sexy again. That isn't the fucking issue anymore, Impact. The issue is people want to see women's wrestling, not a fucking tart with her tits halfway out. Did they not get the memo? Is this their response to the whole women's pay-per-view thing? In which case, this is going to backfire sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Johnny Impact beat Trevor Lee. He says he wants to. Afterwards, he says he wants to become world champion again, or world champion anyway. But has some unfinished business with Congo Kong first. So then Ali's interviewed and confessed guilt for not being able to stop Madison Rayne from getting locked in the coffin by Su Yung. Hey, it did a good thing. It changed her first name to Ashley and got her in the Mae Young Classic instead. If only Su Yung did that to her boyfriend, then he might be back in the company. shoot. Fucking shoot. I say that because apparently Rich Swan's signed a, quote, long-term deal with Impact. And then Kira Hogan showed up and said that she'll put an end to Su Young's reign as champ. I don't give a fuck about her. So then we have the flashback moment of the week, which I swear they did on purpose considering the news that came out. Motor City Machine Guns beating Generation Me from No Surrender 2009.
Wow. That's topical.
I swear they only put that in because of Shelley's retirement.
Probably.
Again. Because he retired the last time. Then he went to New Japan and didn't unretired. And whatever. And then Brian Cage beat Matt Sydal to retain the title. Which was a solid match. And of course Matthew goes, well, Cage has never been submitted or pinned. And I'm going, I don't give a fuck. Oh, and there was also the random shit with OVE in the toilet. You know, with Sammy still coming to terms with the fact that he's bald. So they go to the urinals, and there's one of the Chris brothers and Sammy are standing either side of a guy with a big old ponytail. And then Sammy just was like to the guy with the ponytail, are you laughing at me? During which time he's supposed to be pissing all over him.
Well then, that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comments from chat. Oh, I have an answer for that actually about Cardi B. One Triple S wants to know your favorite Brock and Angle match. He says the Iron Man match.
Probably the Iron Man match because it was actually a 60-minute Iron Man match on television, which is like never happens.
Unheard of nowadays.
But then at the same time, WrestleMania just for the what the fuck were you thinking of Brock moment.
Let's see. What's with Impact with a heel attacking a heel, says One Triple S as well.
Yeah, but Eddie isn't a heel now. He's Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you see a Q&A with MJF low blowing a girl from Impact?
I saw the Q&A bit from Beyond Wrestling when she kicked him in the balls. I don't know if that's what we're referring to. That was MJF being pure perfect heel. It's like I don't sell t-shirts to any of these fucking New England pricks. None of them are worthy of wearing my stuff. It was just like he was in his element, Alicia was in her element. It was just like, damn.
What happened to Mackenzie Mitchell?
Apparently she's still working there. Although I don't think she was used at all at Slammiversary.
She wasn't.
I'm trying. Where was the bit when did MJF low blow Alicia earlier on in the night on Beyond Wrestling, or was it a different show?
It's true. MJF low blowed Alicia.
Yeah, I saw the one in return with some random fucking supposed drunk guy being in on the shit, like being brought in. It's like, you know, who's your favorite wrestler? And he's just like, and MJF's just like, get out. Get out of the shot. You're not worthy of being in the shot. Randomly, as he's pushed off camera, the guy just randomly goes, Roger Clemens. It's like, what's the bloke from Fox got to do with it? Like, what's... Oh, it was Alicia owns the YouTube channel. I didn't even know she had one.
Wow.
Great
Okay.
publicity there.
One Triple S said, sorry, no disrespect. I don't like the Desi Hit Squad because of Jinder Mahal's uncle.
You can get Indians over naturally, or you can fuck it up. You know, how do they get over naturally? Free MB. How do they get over not naturally? Everything fucking since. Shira Sheikh. All the shit that they did in India with Sanjay Dutt, which made it feel disingenuine. Because he isn't even technically from Bombay, India, from what I'm aware. It's just where he's billed from. It's like, ooh.
One Triple S says Cardi B is like Tekashi 69, who thinks they run New York, who literally overrated and who was pregnant by Offset rapper from Migos, then who later cheated on Cardi.
Christ, that's more fucking complicated than a porno.
Speaking of that, One Triple S says Impact
What?
Wrestling acting is terrible. I think porn acting is better.
You know, get the plumber around to check the pipes.
God.
Cardi B is also a flexor. What the fuck is a flexor?
I don't. I was like, I want to know.
Is that like a Floridan Alexa Bliss? Flexor? I don't know.
Oh boy.
Is that
and we are moving on.
Is that the Floridan name for Amazon Alexa? Flexor. Destroy fucking WWE merchandise.
Yeah, it doesn't really work that way. She doesn't respond.
What he said, Flexor. I mean, probably. I don't know.
This is why we have a live chat room, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It makes these shows a lot more fun.
So, because I might as well quickly bring it up, the UFC show from Calgary, which randomly had Bret Hart on it, because we did absolutely shit in the ratings, despite the fact it had Joanna Jacek beating Ticia Torres, Jose Aldo winning via TKO against Jeremy Stevens, and Dustin Poirier beating Eddie Alvarez. It absolutely did shit in the ratings, even though it was a Saturday night and it was on Fox for anybody to watch. I don't even know what was going up against it, if anything, other than baseball. So I have no clue what the fuck happened. Poirier and Aldo got 50,000 bonuses for fight of the night. And then from the main event, I think of the Fight Pass prelims, John Medeski and Ross Pearson. Medeski's getting the win over Pearson. They got 50,000 bonuses for the fight of the night, which is weird considering that the judges gave it 30, 26, 29, 27, and 29, 28. So pretty conclusively, to some extent, a win for the one guy. So I was like, okay, maybe. Anyway, next one, big one, next weekend, or this coming Saturday, I guess. UFC 227 with Dillashaw defending the bantamweight title against Cody Garbrandt and Demetrius Johnson defending the flyweight title against Henry Cejudo. Thiago Santos and Cub Swanson also on the main card section. Betch Carrera, the last woman to have been beaten by Ronda before she fucking fell off. She's on the FX prelims. No names that I recognize on the Fight Pass prelims. I don't think there's any news, at least on the Bellator front. Only apart from apparently like 24 UK and Irish based fighters from Europe have been signed up as part of the new UK division that Bellator is doing. Oh my god, Bellator actually thinks they're WWE. So that happened. And all that. Yeah, it was good seeing Aldo getting a finish, but what it means coming up, we'll have to see. The best bit is, what if Brock Lesnar shows up at the Staples Center next week, because he's just going to be there every time, facing off against. And the one thing I did want to note about Bret Hart, guess who was the guy that introduced Bret Hart on the announcing team, Owen?
Who's that?
Cormier.
Oh, God.
As if he isn't a wrestling mark. So, yeah, I think if he's going to fight anybody before December, it'll probably come down to what happens with the Gustafsson. I don't even know if it's listed. Is it 229? What happened to the Gustafsson fight? Or did it get cancelled? Because I never paid attention. What's it on? I'm trying to have a quick look. Oh, brilliant! So that actually happened last week. Volkan Ozdemir got injured, so he can't fight this week against Gustafsson. So Gustafsson now, I believe, doesn't. They completely pulled the fight altogether. As it stands, I don't think they've lined up a replacement to face Gustafsson. Depending how serious the injury is, I don't know whether they can do it somewhere in the next month or whatever. But if that's the case, I think by default Gustafsson would face probably Cormier for that light heavyweight belt. I'd have thought. But dear fucking God.
Questions in chat. It's good to see Aldo getting a finish.
Mm-hmm.
And the body shot from Aldo was awesome. No, I don't know anything about UFC or any sort of mixed martial arts. Winter Boy says, do you think Dominic Cruz is going to be commentating, and will he be challenging for the championship?
I don't know who's on duty for this one. Because it's a pay-per-view, it might be Cormier. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cruz was, if he because obviously Cormier might not be doing it, depending on his schedule. But it'll either be Cormier or Cruz on the analyst desk with Bisping, or on the other one. So I don't know. He certainly is a contender. A rematch between Cruz and Dillashaw was good because, they had a really good fight, and Dominic Cruz was not like a bitch when he lost. He was like, fair play, he won. But then again, if Demetrius wants to move up a division, and if TJ wins, because we seem to be all about having two weight champions at the minute, you never know. We'll see. Anyway, let's wake Owen up. Let's talk about G1.
Okay.
4 nights of stuff to cover, because Night 12 is happening in a mere number of hours.
Correct.
Of course it is. So, from day 8, Goto beat Yano. Naito beat Tamatonga. Clean with a Destino, but there was fucking shenanigans from Farley.
Okay, here's the thing.
The Tongans are like the legit fuck 'em team of this.
Are we getting tired of this firing squad stuff right away? Is it starting to wear its welcome out already?
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get over as heels by purposefully having shit matches,
Right.
which I get, but the problem is
It's the
this
G1.
is the bit. This is the G1 where people actually pay attention globally, and if that's all the shit that you're doing, and it's supposed to be known for a tournament that's actually got good wrestling, when you do anything afterwards, hang on, Filthy Frank, what was the? There you go.
This is the G1. It should never be like that ever.
Sabre Jr. beat Ishii. Kenny beat Juice Robinson. And Sonata beat Ibushi in a pretty solid match. Then day 9, back to the A block. Suzuki beat Elgin with a pretty good brawl. Evil beat Hangman Page. Farley beat Jay White, which was like, I have no clue what the fuck this match was. It's probably the worst match of a G1 yet, if not ever.
Wow.
Because obviously there was interference, there was chair shots. White tried to take out Tangaloa, but obviously didn't have any effect on whatever. Also, it's worth noting that White threw Farley into the announcer's booth, so there was no ring announcing for the match. So it made it even worse because there was sort of like no sort of being able to get over the fucking match. Yeah, but Farley won because the referee basically got bumped and then came back just in time to actually get the free count. Tanahashi beat Makabe, and Okada beat Yoshihashi. Then night 10. Sabre Jr. beat Tamatonga by DQ. Juice beat Toriano in Juice's first win. Ibushi beat Ishii. Dear fucking God, that match. That might be one you have to try and find. A good match between Naito and Goto. And a very good match with Omega and Sanada, but I would not be surprised if Ibushi and Ishii gets 6 snowflakes from Papa Dave.
Wouldn't be shocking.
And it's not even like a match like towards the end of the G1 or in the finals. We're midway through the group. And then from day 11, Farley beat Togi Makabe. Again, thanks for some sort of interference and whatever. And using Togi Makabe's chain. So Farley's still going. I don't know why. Jay White beat Hangman Page. Okay. Suzuki beat Evil. Tanahashi was victorious over Yoshihashi, and then Okada beat Big Mike. So as it stands, after 6 matches, because we're on day 11, Tanahashi's in the lead on 10. Evil, Okada, Suzuki, and Jay White are on 8. Farley's somehow on 6. Elgin and Makabe are on 4, and Hangman Page and Yoshihashi are on 2. The thing is, in all honesty, Evil's probably been the worst wrestler out of all 20. Because I had hopes. I had hopes for him, to put on really great clinical matches. Not one of the 5 that not one of the 6, that he's had so far have really stood out as ones you have to see. Ibushi's had a load. Ishii's had a load. Naito's had a load. Or, I say a load. Like, they've had 2 or 3 each. Omega, in the other block. Omega, Ibushi, Ishii, even to some extent Suzuki in block A. But, Evil, that I had really hopes on, most of them have just been average.
That's a shame.
Which is a little concerning if he's supposed to be the fucking challenger for, all the shit that's supposed to be going down. Anyway, I take it back. It isn't in a few hours. It's in a day and a few hours. The next 4 days. So, day 12. Back in the A block, we've got Ishii, Tonga, Robinson, Sanada, Yano, Naito, Omega, Zack Sabre Jr., and Goto Ibushi. Day 13, which is Thursday, or early hours and whatever. We've got Elgin Farley. Well, we know what's happening there. Makabe Page, White Yoshihashi, Tanahashi Evil. Oh, please let that one be good at least. And Okada Suzuki, which should be really solid. Then day 14 on Saturday in Osaka. Yano Sanada, Goto Tamatonga. I think we know what's happening there, lads. Juice Robinson, Zack Sabre Jr., Ishii, Kenny Omega, and Naito Ibushi. Oh, dear fucking God. And then day 15, again in Osaka, we've got Yoshihashi, Bad Luck Fale. We know what's happening there, lads. Hangman Page, Minoru Suzuki. Page is going to get murdered. Makabe versus Jay White. Jay White might get murdered. Tanahashi, Elgin, and Okada Evil. So if Evil can't have good matches with Tanahashi and Okada over these next 2 shows, throw Evil out. I know it's a shame because of LIJ and being on form and everything. Throw Evil out of the company because he shouldn't be this bad, but he hasn't delivered on the promise that he's shown for the last 6 months or anything. So then, I guess we'll quickly bring up the Battle Riot, shall we? The tapings, which, by the way, are available to watch for free on MLW's YouTube channel, which is pleasantly surprising. Koto Brazil beating Myron Reed. MGF cutting a promo on Joey Ryan. I thought he was dead. Claiming to win the middleweight championship, which, by the way, spoilers, he did. Well, I say spoilers. It's up for you to watch if you wanted to. Apparently, LA Park, the former La Parka from WCW, is coming soon. And whatever. Loki cut a promo saying he's going to bring the fight to everybody. And that Black Friday management were running things now. apparently. And amazingly, Filthy Tom Lawler won the Battle Royal, ultimately eliminating Jake Hager, Jack Swagger, whatever they'll call him, in the final two. I'm trying to see where he came in. Where is Tom's number? Tom went in at Tom Lawler was number 5, so he went a while. But yeah, that 2-hour show is available to watch on MLW's YouTube channel for free. And then, because I might as well talk about it, the World of Sport Wrestling Episode 1 stuff. See how you like the sound of this, Owen. The commentary team is Stu Bennett, which is awkward because he's also the de facto, supposedly, like, manager of the thing. So it's like Vince McMahon in the days, but only if Vince McMahon was the actual chairman and you knew it for years beforehand, which is a bit complicated. SoCal Val and Alex Shane. The great thing is, because Stu Bennett is having to be the heel, Alex Shane's having to sort of call it like a normal ring announcer and not be an annoying twat. The problem is he's still an annoying twat. The commentary was just fucking abysmal sometimes. Some of the bits, they can't call it a cheeky Nando's kick from Will Ospreay, so they call it a cheeky Fernando's kick because it's product placement for one of the TV shows that's on the station. And everything. Yeah, basically he's sick of the jokers and clowns in the company, Stu Bennett. Then here comes Grado and says, look, I don't go to the gym. I walk my dog twice, maybe even 3 times a day. And the great thing is, when he did this line, that fake canned laughter you get on, say the funniest things or whatever?
Right.
It was that laughter. It wasn't the laughter from the crowd. It was fucking canned, and you could hear it wasn't actual proper laughter. Which is always worrying. And says, enjoy the crowd loving you. Because you're going to face the winner of a 5-way match, which is happening right now. So, yeah, in order to establish it to new people that never saw the pilot, which, by the way, they never showed you how Grado actually won. Probably because they couldn't show pictures of Dave Mastiff because of his WWE stuff. He just went, oh, whoa, here are the people that are in the 5-way. Here's Justin Sism. Here's Adam Maxted. Here's Rampage. Here's Shah Samuels. Here's Cyanide. And they're just randomly there together on the stage. Even though Justin Sism is like the face of the group, and he's randomly posing there with the other 4, who, by the way, are all big sweaty men.
Oh, now.
Including, Cyanide is more like fucking Golga from the Oddities. You know, he's like the size of like a Big Daddy, but he's under a mask. So I guess he's trying to be like Kendo because he's a heel. Well, so yeah, Cyanide is the name that they would have given him, but they call him Crater because 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think you can use the word cyanide, especially with all the Russian poisoning that's happening over here. The great thing is, apparently, Crater was choking Adam Maxted on the ropes. And allegedly, apparently, failed to break the hold at 5, so the referee disqualified him. One, we didn't even know there was no disqualification because it was a 5-way match. Because it didn't even specify. 2, there wasn't even an announcement made properly about Crater's been eliminated. He just randomly walked off. Well, before that, he beat the shit out of everybody before leaving, but I mean, that happened. Charles Samuels then got eliminated. And then Rampage sort of got thrown out of the ring and collapsed on the floor. Maxted and Sism, basically Sism did a tope suicida to the outside. Sism just about managed to get in to the ring before the count of 10. However, at the same time, Charles Samuels was supposed to have left the ringside area, stayed there, helped Rampage in. And so the referee rang for the bell, then noticed that Rampage was in the corner and didn't know what to do. What great officiating. How fucking confusing is that? By the way, the match lasted 7 minutes because it's only an hour show. So apparently, because of this, the World of Sport Championship is being defended in a triple threat. We come back and Stu Bennett goes, "This is sports entertainment. Don't try this at home." It's like, wow, you thought the fucking WWE ones from back in the day on the WWE DVDs were invasive? This was worse. So Davey Boy Smith and Will Ospreay. This was pretty good. The best bit being British Bulldog Jr. was what they called Davey Boy Smith. Which I guess is technically true. But then, try and explain to somebody why the British Bulldog Jr. has got Canadian maple leaf on the back of his trunks. Ospreay was good. The thing is, though, when Ospreay was doing all his shit, including like Ishiki Nando's kick, they just showed it and it was like, whoa, look at this shit. Davey Boy did like a stalling suplex, like Elgin does, Owen.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a replay of that. They didn't show a replay hardly of anything that Will Ospreay did. And then, of course, Davey Boy had to win with a top rope power slam. Because, his dad's the British Bulldog and people have heard of the British Bulldog. And I'm going, wait, so you're trying to appeal this to everybody, adults and kids, of which, by the way, the ratings came through. 5% of actual people watching were children. I know why, because BBC was showing for the umpteenth time Monsters vs. Aliens, the movie, on BBC. And they were probably watching that instead. So then we had the female female backstage interviewer who's an actual real life sports person. So what she's doing here in the predetermined world of pro wrestling. With the tag belts. Which, by the way, the tag belts, those plastic belts that they sell at like Hot Topic? Or would it be Kmart? Owen, what would be the place? Walmart? Like the kids' belts? they look at that bad. In all honesty, they look that bad. Then again, the interview with Yestin Reese and Kip Sabian was pretty good. So then they're facing Martin Kirby and Joe Hendry, who actually comes out to his own Joe Hendry makes things better in WOS wrestling. And, he gets his own theme song and everything. They didn't even bother to explain Joe Hendry's gimmick because everybody would already know what it was. They didn't. And what happened was Joe Hendry crawled over to make a tag. But basically, because of miscommunication earlier on the thing, Kirby just jumped off the apron and left to the back, which left people that don't know about wrestling were just watching this going, well, that makes it look fake, which is a great impression that you want to do if you want to get more viewers. And then suddenly Rampage and Shaw Samuels have CJ Banks with them. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he's come from. But that happened. And then Rampage won in about 5.5 minutes with an implant DDT. I guess. And, Rampage is celebrating. And then they tease for next week. There's going to be a ladder match, another match in the tag title tournament, and the first match on the road to determine the first ever women's champion. With the amount of backstage and talking segments and ring announcing that wasn't significant, and 4 matches into 47 minutes, yeah, it was not very good. I think they're trying to be NXT, but it was just not NXT. For anybody that doesn't know what pro wrestling is, it didn't inform them. For everybody that does know what pro wrestling is, it pissed them off because guess what, Owen? They're in the Kevin Dunn school of cutting the camera every 4 seconds. I don't know what the fuck is up with this. It seems to be a trend now. Viewership was like somewhere in the region of 900,000, peaking at 1.2 million by the end because I think people were waiting for the news to start at the top of the hour, which, by the way, I think got like a 2 million rating from what it says from the figures. So unless it does better, both in terms of presentation and viewership, expect at least by week 3 to hear the news that whatever's being broadcast will be the only stuff you ever see. So, don't get your hopes up, everybody. Right. If you want Joe Hendry's gimmick, El Jefe, he basically does... He for each individual match, or for quite a lot of them, the gimmick is that he does his own entrance theme for said event match, which sort of riffs on the other guy. They didn't really do it that much in well, they did it for quite a while in WCPW, then ditched it because of the whole he's a heel and he didn't do that thing anymore. And he does it in Impact, and he's that they did it much better there because they sort of explained it. World of Sport, they didn't even bloody bother. And I see what you mean, El Jefe, by saying that, in ring, he's not Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne. The key thing is, though, at least in terms of promo stuff and being good on the mic, he's there. He's up there with MJF in terms of, guys that I think are sort of ready to move on to mainstream stuff. The wrestling stuff is pretty solid. You know, the matches he did have with Kurt, or the match he did have with Kurt, I should say, in WCPW was pretty good. The promise is in his promo stuff rather than his wrestling stuff, in all honesty. Maybe he'll get better, though. We'll see. But then we get to the bit that everybody's been waiting for. Because it finally got fucking crazy. Yes! It's the Volta section. Because it fucking happened. Damn my chest. Midweek Matters. The show before the US tour. Volta became champion. It was a no count out match as well, so they were trying to stop all the shenanigans and everything. But Volta took out TK Cooper. Tyler Bates stopped Travis from trying to get out of it and whatever. Volta hit the pile driver. Volta is Progress champion. Now he can go to the WWE. It doesn't even matter. Also on that show, worth noting, Doug Williams retained the Atlas title. Then got challenged by Trent Seven to a match at Wembley. I approve. Toni Storm became number one contender to the women's title. So I'm guessing the match with her and Ginny's probably happening at Wembley as well, which is only fair. Ginny retained the title as well against Millie McKenzie. And also the big thing to come out of it, Progress can no longer use copyrighted music again. They're having to go to generic themes, which is a shame, but hey ho, there you go. And then 2 days later, we get to Fight Club Pro and the Big Strong Boys, which is important because Omari is no longer the Infinity Trophy holder. That is Volta. Volta won the. You know, they'd had a best of three. I think Omari beat him. This was like the rubber. Omari beat him once, and Volta, I think, won the first time. But Volta won ultimately. He is the Infinity Trophy champion, so even though he's affiliated with current champion. Oh no, current champion's Miko Satomura. Oh my god, are we gonna have Miko Satomura versus Volta? Oh shit, son. And also CCK with Volta and I can't remember the who it was that joined them. It wasn't Mark Davis, Dunkzilla. It was the other one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Chat will probably tell me. What I did like, though, is that Davis now teams with Jonah Rock under the name TM Dunk. I can't think why they did that. But yeah, CCK beat Mustache Mountain with the champs, along with other challengers, the Bruiser Mates, Amelia McKenzie and Pete Dunne, who came out to bloody Randy Newman's "You Got a Friend in Me." It's like, okay, fair play. And TM Dunk to become the new FCW tag champ. So I don't know when the Miko Satomura thing's happening. I'm guessing it must be the next show, which is the London shows at the end of August, I believe. So that's interesting stuff. Thing is, by the time we get to next week, the start of the Volta Tour of America, along with Evolve and other promotions and Defy, will be going down. At least it means, from what I can tell, that means Volta for sure, by the looks of it, will be in the main event at Wembley, which I have no problems with. And by the looks of it, it's going to be a multi-man match anyway, per the rules of if anybody gets 3 matches in a row victorious on the US tour and the German tour, and the UK show that I think is before. Actually, no, I think it's the UK shows before that. They get a world title shot. I don't know. Interesting shit's going down, and it involves Volta. So jobs are good. And sadly, that's where we must end the Volta segment. Hi Rose saying I'm trying to be in ring camp. Well, no, because I'm not German or Austrian. Travis Banks has been Volta's bitch. He's lost 2 titles to him. I'm trying to remember what the other title was that he dropped. Was it the Atlas title? No, because the Atlas title was Riddle. I'm trying to remember who Travis Banks dropped the other title to, off the top of my head. From the NXT UK tapings, it looks like they're doing more shit with the Coffees and Flash Morgan Webster and Andrews and what's his name? Travis Banks. I just forgot the name. Pete Dunne retained the belt against Dar, and I can't remember. The big one, though, was the match between Kenny Williams and Joseph Connors went to a no contest and might not even be shown because Connors got a pretty stiff kick to the head and was legit concussed. He said to be okay, though, which is good to hear. Wolfgang, though, actually, as well, joined the Coffees as well, and there was some beat down thing there, which was like, oh, good. The way that the notes were coming out from the tapings makes me worry how actually they give a shit about storylines here. Because there's more storylines going on in progress than there was in anything that seems to be coming out of the WWE stuff. The other stuff that went down this weekend, though, in the UK, was ICW Shug's House Party 5. The big things to note out of this, Angelico beat Mikey Whiplash. Then afterwards, Whiplash was sort of teasing retiring. Then Avil came to the ring and said, "Don't be pathetic. Remember who we are." And she laid a Legion mask, the stable that used to be Tommy N / Aleister Black and all that. And Whiplash picked up the mask and put it on. So is a new version of Legion coming? Hopefully it involves Volta. Joe Hendry beat Chris Renfrew in a street fight, which earned apparently Hendry's respect for Renfrew, which is pretty good. BT Gunn beat Volta in a what the fuck are they booking in ICW match. I don't get that. Kaylee Ray came to the ring saying there hasn't been any fucking females on tonight. That's her quote. And wanted Viper and challenge, but basically it was a ploy just to beat the crap out of her. And the main event, Lionheart beat Jackie Polo. From night 2, it's worth noting the commissioner, Jeff Jarrett, for this second night was pretty popular. The big one being Grado beating Jackie Polo when Jeff Jarrett hit Polo with a guitar shot So I don't know whether that means we're getting Jackie Polo's Just Jackie versus Jeff Jarrett in a match at Fear and Loathing. You never know. James Storm beat Ravy Davey in a Texas Death Match. Viper retained the women's title on a freeway against Session Moth Martina and Casey. No Kaylee Ray involved, because of course not. And then DCT beat Stevie Boy to not only become ICW champ, but also stay where they were, because it was a loser leaves the UK match. I don't know whether that means Stevie Boy is going somewhere. Apparently, as well, though, BBC was filming at the event because they're doing a show called Rouge to Wrestler, which is basically like TNA's British boot camp thing, with the idea being that the winner gets a contract for the GPWA Wrestling Tour, which is one of the big ones over here. So that went down. Beyond Wrestling, American Rana. The pre-show, including Jordan Grace versus Kimberly, is all up on YouTube for you to be able to watch for free. But on the main card stuff, Chris Dickinson, Yaka, and LAX beat Jordan Grace, Kimberly, Skylar, and Mia Yim in the women versus men match. It's worth noting that Santana from LAX actually bled the hard way from a headbutt by Yim, so that's pretty interesting. AR Fox beat Anthony Green. Trent Beretta beat Jonathan Gresham by DQ because the injured MJF attacked Beretta with help from Stokely Hathaway. Josh Briggs beat Brody King. Nick Gage and Matt Tremont united to team up and beat Tom Lawler and Matt Riddle. And yeah, to wake you up, Owen, from what we got from later on in the night, Nick Gage has dubbed that Matt Tremont is the new member of the Hate Club.
So is he like the new age version of Nate Hatred?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know whether that means that Matt Tremont's working with Gage in terms of Game Changer Wrestling, so he's leaving CZW.
It's possible.
Which means that company's going to have its fourth owner in about 4 days. Dear fucking God. Tracy Williams beat Wheeler Yuta to keep the internet title. John Silver and Alex Reynolds, the Beaver Boys, beat a 4-person or 14 tag, beating Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, Dan Barry and Bill Carr, and the Massage Crew, because they can't be called Massage MV because of, I guess, copyright stuff. And then afterwards, Dan Barry turned on Bill Carr. So the reunion of Team Tremendous lasted, I think, maybe a match. Brian Cage beat PCO, who PCO was, of course, being completely crazy. And then David Starr beat Joey Janela in what's been advertised as Joey Janela's last death match. There was barbed wire boards, barbed wire bats, barbed wire ropes, staple guns, push pins, all that sort of stuff. And some cinder blocks as well.
Okay, Winter West wants to know, I missed out a lot of comments, apparently.
Yeah.
Gotta find them now. When you're done, we're going to do rapid fire.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I'm just trying to have a quick look. Pivot. Trying to get, because I noticed that Hyro saying, why can't I see chapter 74 on Demand Progress? I'm just trying to have a quick look. Probably because they haven't put it up yet. I know with Progress, it sometimes takes them somewhere within the week to be able to get it up. Hey, I don't know why I did it like that. Normally it's at the earliest, it's sort of like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday that it's up on Demand Progress. Certainly within the week. Of course, the added complication is that obviously because they're on the US tour, they're having to sort that out. If you want to know, by the way, the full list of the dates, August 4th, which is, if I can get a calendar up, Saturday, they're in Philly at the ECW Arena. Sunday, they're in Boston at the Melrose Theatre. Tuesday, of all days, they're at La Boom in New York City. Thursday, Seattle, in a co-done show with Defy. Then 11th, next Saturday, a week on Saturday, they're in Chicago. And then on the 12th, Detroit. And then they head back to the UK. I know some of the guys are busy and everything as well, because, you know, full disclosure, I am a Kickstarter backer of the This Is Progress Wrestling documentary, which is getting its premiere, I think, at a big or a reasonable like indie film festival at I think it's in Chicago on that in a fortnight's time or so. Supposedly the final edit is now being put together, and by this time next week I will hopefully have a copy sent to me on the emails and whatever, so I might be reviewing that next week rather than Raw. Although it is worth noting, because Travis Banks is injured, he's not on the shows this coming weekend for Progress Wrestling. Instead, Mark Andrews and Tyler Bate are facing some bloke called Matt Riddle. That's going to be fun. In a lot of senses. Also in Detroit, Monster Mafia versus Dunn and Seven. Oh, there's a lot of good matches on this US tour. I can't wait till they get put up on the all the shit. Somewhere down the line, Grizzled Young Vets versus LAX. Okay, so apparently Banks suffered a dislocated shoulder on Friday night. That I'm guessing must have been at the show in Wolverhampton. So he isn't part of the US tour. That's annoying. Oh, okay. So it's official that Volta's defending the Progress title against Jimmy Havoc on the 9th. And then is still champion against Eddie Dennis on the 11th. And then is still champion against Mandrews on the 12th. But let's be honest, you know, he probably is. So, you know, that'll be good. Yeah, I just noticed as well for the somebody asking about whether the Wembley show is being shown live, and Progress has said it won't be streamed live, but it will be on demand 5 to 6 days after. So, yeah, I'm guessing within the next day or so, Hyro, I think we'll be getting some sign of what's to come with that. Did we talk about Lucha Underground? No, we didn't. Thank you for reminding me, One Triple S. The way it falls in the notes, you know, with the NXT stuff. Wow, we didn't even talk about NXT. The Adam Cole Shawn Maluta match was pretty solid, and with the Ricochet sort of build up and all that. The contract signing with Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane went pretty well, and then some Candice LeRae stuff. Lacey Evans beat Tallulah Price, which was okay for what it was, but yeah. And then Bianca Belair with a very good promo, stressing how she's undefeated and everything. And then, of course, Ciampa beating Black inadvertently thanks to some Johnny Gargano interference. And of course, Drake and his tan and doing all this shit in a very good match. So Lucha Underground, yeah, it was the Gift of the Gods title match for this past week. So yeah, the big stuff. Jake Strong beat Sammy Guevara via the ankle lock, but then of course, supposedly broke it. Then Vinny Massaro came out, and Dario in a bad wig, who may or may not be Antonio, said he was a poor excuse for a man. I should fire you, but instead I'm giving you a pizza. And then Vinny apparently opened the pizza and he's like, "Oh, the pizza's got pineapple on it." And then, of course, he's going to get sacrificed. And Matanza beat the shit out of him, gave him the the tour of the islands. It's honestly not that. And he got sacrificed and disappeared. The great thing is then the pizza man came in to try and steal Vinny's money that was left behind, but got chokeslammed. So that happened. Then we Gift of the Gods. There's going to be a trios match with the winning team being able to compete. And Cueto let Evil East and Son of Havoc pick their partner. Of course, they chose the Mac, which did them no good because Desmond X, Dragon Azteca Jr., and King Cuerno won instead. And then Mil Muertes beat the shit out of Evil East, Son of Havoc, and the Mac because of what happened last week, of course, because of losing the shot for the medallion and all that. And then Dragon Azteca Jr. beat Desmond X and King Cuerno to win the Gift of the Gods title. So yeah, Dragon Azteca Jr., I guess, can challenge at some point. And then we get to the end. It means I need the music. So Marty Martinez is somewhere. I have no clue. And he's sleeping. All of a sudden, even though she isn't dead, which is a bit confusing, Mariposa just appears from out of nowhere. And she wakes him up and says, "Marty, it's your destiny to bring the Lucha Underground Championship to the Moth Tribe." But frankly, nobody gives a shit. So that happened.
Well,
some Shikara results as well. Blance Babish beat the Whisper from the show that was streamed this past weekend. The Beast Warriors and Crumbles and Defarge versus the closest Legion of Rock became a no contest just because basically Crumbles and Defarge got bought out, and basically all of the 6 teams beat on the Beast Warriors. So that happened. Mark Angelisetti beat David Starr in his Shikara debut. Meaning Angelisetti has the 3 points needed to possibly challenge for the title. The Proteus Wheel beats Lucas Calhoun, Jeremy Leary, and Brett Michael David. Razorhawk beat Icarus, which means Icarus loses his opportunity to get 3 points. So Razorhawk's got even more momentum. In the Atomicos contest, Princess Kimberly, Los Ice Creams, and Kikataro beat Travis Huckabee, Murloc, Hermit Crab, and Cajun Crawdad. Tony Deppen was apparently absent, so I don't know what happened there. The big thing to note, though, is Kimberly basically said she's not going to be in King of Trios because she's going to Japan to be in their 5-star Grand Prix tournament, and so she has elected Kikutaro to replace her. But then, interestingly, as they were all leaving, Whisper showed up, stopping the Ice Creams from leaving with Kimberly. Because if you remember, when they did the secret season thing, Kimberly just randomly disappeared because of something she was told and something that she couldn't do. Well, you know, which was basically the excuse to write her out because she was going to the E. But now that she's back, I don't know. We'll see. And then Juan Francisco de Coronado once again retained the title. On his 13th defense, which is pretty ridiculous in terms of defenses. In a good way, to be honest. I don't know whether I've got CZW results from New Heights. Don't seem to have. Let me have a quick look. If I can find any. I thought there would be some, but I guess with so many shows happening, so many people could actually pay attention to events that are going on. It's not even listed on CZW's cage match page, so I guess we'll have to wait for that and supply them if and when we get them. In terms of what's coming up this weekend, in terms of major stuff, as I say, the Progress US tour is going on down. We've also got, having a quick look through, I think there's a Rev Pro show happening this weekend. I think it's one of the Live at the Cockpit shows in London. IPW UK's got a show on Wednesday. AAW, Northeast Wrestling and some of its wrestling under the Star Show this weekend. Evolve WWN, Evolve have got their doubleheader, just sort of co-combining with the Progress shows. Wrestling Revolver from Sammy's got a show. WXW have got a couple of German shows. Also, I don't know what happened at Absolution either, because that happened this weekend as well. I don't know whether this has the results in. Yes, it does. Oh, we can actually go through this. Because Lewis Linden won a 6-way scramble. The 8-man tag match was won by Jock Sampson, Mance Warner, Parker Pierce, and Twan Tucker.
Right.
Beating the corporation or the stable of like the young guys that are coming through. Bobby Beverly and Eric Ryan beat the production. Oh, that's it, the production. So I guess the old timers won both of them. Matt Justice beat Ethan Page by DQ because Ethan and Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham got involved. Coming to Matt Justice's aid, though, was Scott Steiner, who cut an interesting little promo in the sense of he did some math stuff and he said to Ethan Page, there's 100% chance of me fucking your girlfriend and wife.
Oh, Scott Steiner on a microphone.
And then Ethan Page, to the camera that was recording this, goes, "Oh no, Viv, no, like actually saying Vivian, like." In a 10-man tag match, No Consequences lose to Josh Prohibition, to Infinity and Beyond, and the Jollyville Fuckets. Yes, the Jollyville Fuckets are back. Tim Donst beat Joey Janela in a ladder match to become the new AIW Intense champion. Dominic Green beat Tom Lawler. PB Smooth and Swoggle drop the tag titles as well to Magnum, CK, and Frankie Flynn. And in
Shout out.
then in the absolute title match, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams beat Nick fucking Gage to win the absolute title. So every single title changed hands because I have no clue what the fuck's going on with the AIW Women's title or even if it exists.
Nice to see that two of my good friends are doing well in AIW.
Actually, come to think of it, I don't think the title does exist, considering the current champion of AIW Women's Division is Shayna Baszler. I think she's busy. So at least we got those results out of the way. Apologies to Freelance and CWF Mid Atlantic and Rev Pro and Alpha One and Queens of Combat. But we ain't got enough time to cover them, or I can't find the results yet. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on it. We'll track it down.
Hopefully. I can't find the gathering results either. I've been looking everywhere for them, and I can't find anything. I know that Joey Janela lost twice in the weekend. That's all I can find.
Yeah, to AIW and then Beyond Wrestling.
Let's see.
Which makes sense.
Okay, it's time. Oh, obviously, if we've mentioned these before, it's my apologies because I've been a little bit out of it. So here's my question to you. We mentioned the newest match for All In.
Oh no, we didn't talk. Let's talk about being the elite.
Yes.
Something
I'm actually following.
I'm going to quickly skip through this. Luckily, it's on mute because of other stuff. So I'm trying to work out. Clearly, Bernard the Bear is somebody that has a gripe with Nick Jackson.
And
I'm trying to work out who it is, because if it is CM Punk now, it's not going to make any sense. In all honesty, when you think about it, the reveal came that the Bucks have done a kids book.
Yep.
Which looks interesting. Young Bucks stand tall. Some very nice art style and everything. Then we have the bit with SCU in the airport at 5 a.m, having to do a silent promo and all that.
Right.
Then Juice Robinson basically implying and working out that Taka Michinoku didn't just chop Val Venus's dick off back in the Attitude Era. Apparently, he also chopped off Flash Funk's dick. I don't know what that's about.
And real quick, kudos to New Japan for finally giving me a Juice Robinson t-shirt. When it gets to Hot Topic, it will be purchased.
Nice. Justice for Joey reared its head. Adam's having some nightmares. And then wanting some advice on how to win. Of course, there's a nice little book that Kenny's got, which I think is the let's have a look at it. The will to keep winning. The thing is, because supposedly he's got the book now, because of how long they keep this shit in sort of storyline. Is this a sign that Kenny's going to start losing every of the rest of his matches?
How long has it been since we've seen someone actually go undefeated in the G1?
Ooh. Quick to the G1 Climax Wikipedia page, because I'm going to have a look.
Because Kenny could actually make history by doing just that.
I'm trying to look at the numbers. Yeah, last year, no. Nor the year before. 14. There was 11 in the blocks in 2014's tournament, so the 16s are a bit unclear. Those are really close blocks in 2013, so that wouldn't be the case. I don't think anybody has. I think everybody's lost one or at least two. By the looks of it, maybe.
There you go. There's your story.
But then he loses in the final to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kota actually just beats him and gets the points instead.
We'll see. God, this show goes too long. Ring of Honor. We didn't even talk about it. Said Hyro.
Well, there ain't much to talk about. The TV tapings is the stuff we've already talked about.
Yes.
We already talked about the New Japan crossover thing.
Right.
I don't think they've announced. I'll quickly go to ROH's site in case they have announced stuff for the upcoming UK tour. Tennille Dashwood versus Chardonnay. She's also apparently facing Aisha Raymond. And by the looks of it, Punishment Martinez versus Delirious. Yeah, they're grasping at straws for some of these matches, aren't they?
Okay.
And then, of course, Philadelphia is the last tapings, I think, before Death Before Dishonor at the end of September. And then, of course, you got Glory by Honor in Baltimore. Oh, I guess the one thing we could mention, considering it technically is Ring of Honor, the Chris Jericho Cruise is also going to have Young Bucks versus LAX on it.
Yeah, EYFBO against Matt and Nick Jackson.
Not just the Elite versus, or not just the, what was it?
Alpha Club versus Bullet Club.
Yeah, Alpha Club versus Bullet Club.
So they're going to work twice that night.
Well, I don't know.
Throughout the cruise.
Yeah, because it's multiple. It's 5 days, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. So it's happening at some point. Then Flip is being consoled backstage by Brandy and the Bucks as to what's going on. Then the best bit I love with this is like, I've got to go and talk to Marty. And Marty's just there like, I'm filming this. I'm here. It's like, wait a break. I love the break in the fourth wall there. It's like, then we get the thing that, you know, the all in box from High Spot that Owen somehow needs to buy before August 19th.
Oh, God,
and again, it's a subscription, so I don't know whether we want to stick with it. Then Aldous is training Marty some more, which apparently involves eating a lot of donuts rather than beef jerky, because protein isn't the way, it's fat. Then again, the great thing was, it was just like, you need to get on my level. And bloody Marty goes, anabolic steroids. It's like, holy shit.
well, you're not wrong, but still.
Then the Luigi cake for Nick. It's just like, okay. Then bloody Okada's promo saying, I'm facing Marty Scurll. He's a junior, right? Hey, maybe it'll be his last match before he's on 205 Live. And then he smacks the shit out of the camera with a balloon. I was just like,
God.
And then the best bit, because Sem for the Man was needed 15,000 times. Because Cody's trying to work out what's going wrong with his political campaign. And of course, in come the fingers. In come the fingers of probably Kazarian and Daniels.
Of course.
I don't know what the characters. All I know is the one's called Arthur because Daniels keeps going, Arthur, Arthur, Arthur. We've talked about this. It's like the best bit is they're doing all this, and of course, because obviously it's them. Yeah, that's when it starts. I've just played it. When Kazarian goes, your problem is your running mate is a fucking bear. Cody starts laughing and laughing. And then it gets complicated because the bloody dog comes in, keeping wanting to be petted by Daniels all the fucking time. So, of course, Cody's laughing even more, not knowing what to fucking do. And, of course, they're cracking up. Daniels and Kazarian. There's like 4 different people that are cracking up, including, I'm guessing, Scorpio Sky as the fake bear and reacting. It was the craziest 2-minute promo that I've ever seen. Why can't WWE do anything like that? We're fucking fired. We quit. And then the actual match announcement at the end, which I guess is the unofficial birthday present. Which is, it's a weird booking, but fair play to them.
It's an odd match.
Phoenix Bandido Jr. and Rey Mysterio versus the Golden Elite of the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi. Which I know they were speculating it on Wrestling Observer Live today. Does this mean that there's a possibility that the main event of All In, if it wasn't the NWA World Title match, is going to be Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr.?
That's what it's leaning towards.
I think that isn't actually happening, but I'm trying to work out who's left on that show.
People we don't know, potentially.
Who's left that's been announced that isn't in a match yet?
I know what the fans are going to say. I know what everybody on the internet's going to say.
MJF Kenny could be interesting.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm trying to work out what are the fans saying then?
Well, think about it from this perspective. I know what everybody's wanting to say at this point, and it's just not going to happen. We're not getting Omega Punk at All In. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're getting that at the New Japan Ring of Honor show in Madison Square Garden.
That's more likely at this point, if at all.
That's where if they do the Bernard the Bear reveal at this, that's when they build. And that's what they start doing this year.
We'll get to it. All In's going to be a great show. Looking forward to it. Very much so. Okay. Now, rapid fire. I mean rapid fire. This is how we're taking it home tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. No doubt.
You asked for 3 hours. We almost gave you 3 hours. And I literally have to be up at 7:30. So let's do this. Let's see. UFC questions. If I miss it, if I skip over, I'm not skipping over anything. But if you, Ashley, if you already mentioned it, please tell me.
No problem.
Hyro made a comment. Cruz versus TJ 2 would be awesome. That Cody fight was BS. How he lost his belt.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Okay. Hyro schooling me that Dominic Cruz is the first bantamweight champion and the last WEC champion.
Mm-hmm.
And Cruz has now been cleared. Kenny wins. What does that mean? I guess the most logical thing is go for the never openweight title so he can be Grand Slam champion.
I guess.
Maybe.
If they care about that in New Japan. I don't know whether they do.
El Jefe says, told you that Okada was going to be in the finals. So predictable.
He might be
Remains
in
to
the
be
finals,
seen.
but I don't know whether he's winning. Plus, if that's the case, I don't think they'd have they'd have that in terms of the main event of the G1 finals being Okada and Omega again.
What is this
Okada Ibushi.
Maybe. What is the WEC that Hyro's talking about, says El Jefe?
World Extreme Cage Fighting, who got bought out by UFC.
Where's Jericho? I respect him more than Brock, being a part-timer.
No fucking clue.
I'm talking about him. I can see Goto in the finals. Him and Omega rematch. Goto hasn't been champion yet.
Yeah, maybe, but sometimes Goto just feels like he doesn't deserve it yet, even though obviously he's been there for a while. By the way, I've just realised that the other thing about what's his name, Jericho, he's busy with Fozzy.
Well, that makes sense.
He's got that stuff to deal with at the minute. I think they're on a European tour anyway over the next few weeks. So
El Jefe doesn't want Okada or Tanahashi. They already have won the G1. He really likes Goto, apparently.
Ibushi for sure, I think, should be the choice from Block B. I think him having a match with Okada would be a very interesting final.
El Jefe thinks Okada should just win the Intercontinental title. It's good to see.
Maybe, but with Suzuki and everything, it's like, well, Ibushi versus Jericho would be a very interesting affair, but we'll see.
It's good to see him with a different. Good to see him with a different belt. That's how New Japan is. They transition people from other belts like Suzuki from Never to IC and Omega to World from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we admit that Travis Banks has been Walter's bitch? He's lost 2 belts to him.
Yeah, as I say, I'm trying to work out what the second belt was. I can't remember.
Montreal West also said, "I told you, Ashley, Travis Banks is going to NXT. I told you, but too bad he's injured."
Yeah, it's complicated, and he's obviously part of the NXT UK stuff in some shape or form.
I know no one likes Colby, but it's time to strip him of the interim belt. Like with Robert Whittaker, was champion, wasn't stripped.
Well, that's a complicated situation, in all honesty. It doesn't help as well, obviously, with the Colby. Apparently, he was at Raw backstage, so he's been on different bloody shit. Then again, he is defending the title no matter what, somewhere down the line. So,
honestly,
we'll see what happens there.
Whittaker's boring, says Hyro. He was only champion because he was promoted and beating Yoel Romero twice.
To some extent, but he would have been the number 1 contender anyway for those fights. Whether he'd have won or not, I don't know. Probably not. But that's the way the circumstances roll around.
Don't think
Whittaker.
Whittaker.
Want to find champions, you've got to have them.
Okay, makes sense. Don't think Whittaker has established him as a champion. Wish he could have fought Bisping or GSP.
Yeah, again, situation where the perfect world would have happened, but sadly, half the shit ain't perfect.
He could have fought Whittaker if Bisping hadn't accepted a fight in 2 weeks' notice after fighting GSP. Should have never taken that fight.
Yeah, well, we discussed that last time. Sorry, I've just been tweeted by not directly by Porsche Perez, but it's in my timeline. Apparently, Oldie Wrestling's just announced for the show in August, RJ City as RJ Metropolis.
Yes.
Versus Marion Fontaine.
Awesome.
3 matches are happening, everybody.
Speaking of Ospreay, so glad Tyler Bate beat him.
Yeah. True.
Did we talk about Chapter 74 for Progress?
Yeah, it'll be up hopefully in the next day or two. You know that it's the usual week delay that there is, especially because it was a Wednesday show, which Progress normally don't do unless it's like a dome show. But they've stopped doing that anyway, so I don't know what the future is for the secondary shows.
El Jefe says, Big Daddy Ashley, please explain Joe Hendry.
Already did that.
Okay, so we did that. Okay, MJF is a savage. Remember when he threw away the CZW Wired Championship?
Vaguely. That was fun for a bit. It's like, yeah, no.
Asked if I was alive. Oh, well, Vulture beat Banks for the Defiant Internet Championship.
Oh, right, yeah, and Defiant. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that was a company.
I hope, no lie. I hope, even though we covered it like religiously for like months on end. I hope,
you know.
Adam Blumfier. I hope Noam Dar wins.
Sorry, this is the way you said it.
It's 2 a.m. I hope Noam Dar wins the belt. I really want him to return to Ice and Progress, says Hyro.
Yeah. It'd be good. Get our hopes up all we want, though. I think that we'll have to see.
Mae Young Classics
being surrounded by wasps. I'm trying to work out what the fuck's going on.
Run away.
I don't mean Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Never seen it. Mae Young Classic is looking pretty solid, says One Triple S.
Oh shit, we never did that.
God, take it home.
I know. I'm trying to get through it quickly. The 3 names that I remember were I don't remember them. Fuck.
Oh dear
God.
God.
One thing to mention for tomorrow is Zelina Vega's actually wrestling. She's fighting Lana. She's after we said when is she wrestling?
Exactly.
People are listening. The current list of the 20, I think it's 23. Caitlin, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Nicole Matthews, Ginny, Katie Casano, Gianna Parazzo, Tegan Knox, formerly Nixon Newell, Jesse Elaban, Reina Gonzalez, Tainara Conti that won at the NXT tapings that they did recently, Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Kavita Devi, Kelly Kelly, Zeuxis, Isla Dawn, Lacey Lane, Karen Q, Tony Storm, Miko fucking Satomura. And then the 3 they added, Madison Rain, aka Ashley, Priscilla Kelly, and Zia Brookside, the 19-year-old daughter of Robbie.
Yes. Yeah.
That was good.
I like rapid fire. It make the show go a lot faster if that were the case. Hyra says we got Brock to return to Raw, but when are we getting Game of Thrones back?
Well, they did that at King of Trios last year.
Isn't this the last season coming up? I saw something about that.
Well, Game of Thrones, yes. I thought you were saying King of Trios because they're saying it's like the final chapter of King of Trios. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that.
However, wants to know about the incestual relationship between Jon Snow and Daenerys, and wants to see. And Winter West says want to see Jaime kill Cersei.
Go to HBO now then. Oh, Raiders of the Beyond got added to King of Trios. Cam Zagami, Brian Malonis, and Chris Dickinson. Dickinson's going to be in Trios? Holy shit.
When is Mark Haskins going to get the Progress World Championship back?
When he's finished in this feud with the Boar and the Boar and Flash Morgan, I'm guessing.
All the people, when they sacrifice, get released from Lucha Underground? Question mark.
Sometimes.
One Triple S wants Matanza sacrificed. El Jefe asks, is Cesaro still with Sarah Amato?
I don't know.
To my knowledge, yes, but who knows? One Triple S says, do you think that Ashley Rain will get a contract offer?
Probably not.
We'll see. Hyra asked if I hated Raw. Knows I hate Raw, but how do I feel about SmackDown? It's fine. I just don't get a chance to watch it. a lot more people I like are on Raw, but I mean, I like a lot of people on SmackDown too, but I just don't follow the product. I just don't have time. Oh my God, I just realized what this is now. To a lesser extent, Ashley, where it's pretty much you're JJ and I'm Trey. My God. Frightening. Speaking of Scott Steiner, WWE wished him.
Trey fell out of love of wrestling.
Oh, I still love my independent wrestling still, and my New Japan. Hyro says, speaking of Scott Steiner, WWE wished him a happy birthday. Yeah. Any chance that NXT UK can do a live event in the Dome where they have the Progress events?
It's a venue that if the Dome wanted to do it, I guess they would say, they wouldn't object to it.
Let's see. Okay. I don't think Ty is going to ever come back to Impact. They've been in Canada for a while. Yeah, they're doing some other tapings. I think, if I remember correctly, I saw Impact's going to Vegas again. So there you go.
Yeah, they're doing a show in a few weeks with, I can't remember the name of the company. And they're also doing a one night only thing with Destiny Wrestling again, tapings. That's on, the one that's in a few weeks is on Twitch, like the one this weekend was with AML. Nothing important happened, otherwise I would have mentioned it.
Hyro says Impact needs to return to Florida so Ty can return and I can watch Impact live again. Yes, agreed, 100%. Probably not until after Horror Nights at this rate. Kenny runs the G1. You should challenge. Well, I got that. Hyro asked if Honor Club is worth it. Do the archive, go back to Joe and Punk 60 minutes. Honestly, if I had the money right now, I'd have both Honor Club and New Japan World.
I think the Select archive, I don't know how much there is fully yet for it. So we'll see.
How long does Honor Club go back? How far does it go back?
It's supposed to be to like 2002, but I know like the first show got re-edited because Rob Feinstein's in like the first match. God. So they cut it out for sort of obvious reasons when you think about it.
Right. I was asked by Hyro who's winning, Gerard or Rory. No idea. Let's see. Did I ever?
Cassian McDonald, is that happening this weekend as well? I don't even fucking care. For a minute there, I was getting confused because I thought it was Vin Gerard and what was the other? I thought it was like Vin Gerard and Rory Gulak. It was like some sort of Shikara hybrid.
Oh God. Did I ever go to NXT tapings or the old face tapings? I've been to NXT before, yeah. I've been to NXT in Full Sail before. I was at NXT R Evolution the night that Sami Zayn won the championship. I was there the first time when we got Undisputed Era, which at that time were basically Red Dragon against Mustache Mountain. I was there for that. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched a lot of Impact tapings. I've been to the old ECW. Yeah, literal ECW. I was at Heatwave 99. SummerSlam 95, Razor and Sean ladder match. I was at Sold Out WCW pay-per-view. I was at Chris Jericho's last WCW match, which was a house show in Athens, Ohio. I've watched a lot of live wrestling in my time. And of course, I've watched a lot of indie wrestling, and I've worked a lot of indie shows. So Omega not going to WWE is like Fedor not going to UFC. Omega doesn't need WWE. WWE needs Kenny Omega. And I don't think it's going to happen right now. There's no reason for it. Not at this point. Was Joe and AJ Impact Bound for Glory series and spent SummerSlam? What? On Triple S? Crazy. I might have cracked my voice. Who knows? It's super late. Hyro says they're doing horrible with Sanity. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Not doing anything with Sanity.
Mm-hmm.
We finally need Survivor Series for the SmackDown women to win. I have no interest. I know what they're trying to do. I just have no interest. That's a rapid fire. So we'll be back next week. Might be Monday, might be Tuesday, might be Wednesday. I guess you'll have to wait and see.
Hopefully it's a day that I can get rid of these fucking wasps.
There you go. Ash, where can we find you on social media?
On Twitter, Ash is my name UK. Cheap plug for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Hyro says we should be in ring camp.
See whether, if anybody can message Volta to see whether I can be on and remember, because I'm not doing it myself because I'm a bitch.
Man.
I'm Roman Reigns. Hey, do ya?
There we go.
Got the segue.
Please change handle to Big Daddy Ash UK.
No.
Hyro, you're asking him every week.
Then the problem is, Ash is my name UK will get taken, and then I can't go back to it.
Exactly. Some random person that's been listening all along has just been waiting forever for you to drop the name. Just like me using Johnny Fairplay on AOL Instant Messenger back in the day. So yeah, you follow. So Ashley basically will be bringing up more snack stashes, more gaming with Ash, more content coming in the near future. Yeah, lots of wrestling content.
HHN is happening.
Yeah, during Horror Nights, Ashley will be your wrestling connoisseur, even more so than normal. But there won't be any more there won't be Popcast because I'll be super busy.
I don't even know how the fuck we're gonna do All In. Is that the last thing we're gonna be able to do?
It's one of the last ones we're allowed to do. Yeah, I didn't even see if I ever wrestled that night actually.
So at least I'll be covered for Evolution is a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
And the Aussie show. Fucking hell.
Yeah, we have AJ content. It was late this weekend because of schedule conflicts. This past weekend, we also got the reviews of Mission Impossible Fallout, which came out along with Unfriended Dark Web, Uncle Drew, and Adrift. That came out yesterday. And then we had the very special edition of Versus that came out on Sunday with the Butterfly Effect against Don Darko. And more AJ content coming in the near future. I've got more sipping snacks coming. I have a whole refrigerator, thanks to Tim Knight, full of nothing but brand new drinks to try. So we're going to be hitting those up in the next couple times. I'm going to Warped Tour on Friday to go see Water Parks and Twisted and Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake and Simple Plan. So many great bands. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah. That's going to be your show. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. If you have any ideas for Sip and Snack versus the other regular segments on this network, shoot me an email, siroandisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Go to bed.